Representing Van City through the combo. Real talk, real shit, keeping it a hundo. Wrestle with the facts, that's that. Covering the local artists. Like who be stepping up, putting in work, going the hardest. Hot takes and debates, hot cakes in your plate. Serve it fresh like your breakfast, cause man's got the methods and history of boxing and mysteries unlocking. British Columbia with no filtering the talking. And in this rainforest we got ample plants. Flourishing with life, it ain't happenstance. Tune in for the benefits like cash advances. You are now listening to Samp&Chance.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Samp&Chance Wrestling. I am your host, Bobby Sampson, joined as always, my man with the master plan, Mr. Chance Michaels. ACDC's around the corner, brother, man. I know we talked about it earlier, but I'm excited because I know what we're going to expect here, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm super excited for it. And this, I know we said this last year, but this time, this is it. They might still tour again, but they're not going to come all the way back to Vancouver again. They've done it twice in a year. This is it. They're not saying this is it, but you know they're not coming back to Vancouver. They might do some one-offs, but like...
You know what? I'll disagree. If they say this is it, yes. But if they do decide to do another North American tour, Vancouver will probably be on there, man. It's one of those cities they love.
Yeah, I know they love Vancouver.
So, I mean, if they do come back again, I would have to humbly disagree with you. I probably figured they'd find a way to put Vancouver on the show somehow, right? I mean, they got a crazy history here. They've been performing here since the 70s.
Recorded a couple albums here too at that, what's that, warehouse studio, whatever it's called.
Well, that's what I'm saying, man. They've been here before, possibly before even I was born. Probably. I'm pretty sure they were here before you were born. I don't mean that in a bad way,
for
but
sure.
I mean,
Absolutely they were.
Right, but I don't know if they were here pre-75 or not. I don't know. I know they've been around since then, a little bit longer, but I'm not sure. I think their first album came out in 68 or 69.
71.
71. There you go.
I think it was like 20 something at the time.
Yeah. So maybe they were in Vancouver at some point. I don't know without Googling it or looking it up.
Yeah, I'm sure they were.
But, you know, if that's the case, then they've been here before even we were both born, right? So that's just crazy. So looking forward to that. Something to look forward to in this world, in this time where there's less and less to look forward to. Yep. Legit totally happiness. You know what I mean? There we go. We got that all taken care of. But let's get right into it, man. You got some issues with Dominik Mysterio. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. So again, people will say, well, and I've said it too, he's skinny. He's not a great wrestler. He's not. He's not fast. He's not strong. So what? Who cares? He's got character and the guy's over. That's all that matters in wrestling is your storyline and your character. He's got all that. 8 months ago, Dom was the hottest heel in all of wrestling. That's AEW, everything. Nobody could touch him. He was on fire. Now, 8 months later, he's just lost 3 in a row. He was lost to Danhausen on WrestleMania. I like Danhausen. He's funny as hell. But
SummerSlam.
Yeah, SummerSlam. Why do that to your most over heel, most hated heel? But him and Logan were two most hated guys, legitimately hated at the time. And now you're just burying the guy. And they're going to say, well, he's a AAA champion. But it doesn't matter. On WWE, they're burying him. And I think because he's said some things, some tweets that have rubbed some of the big boys backstage the wrong way, and they're punishing him. I thought at first, now I'm overthinking it. Now I see him get pinned 3 times in a row. Something's going on there. Maybe he's being a jerk backstage. Maybe he deserves it. I don't know. I kind of find it petty booking. Like, you got to separate.
Well, I mean, if it's based on what you are assuming that he said something, because I haven't heard anything myself, right? And you know, I would know if someone.
Well, he said. So he said, I'll give some more context. He said before SummerSlam, "I'm just here, so SummerSlam we lost Danhausen. Said I'm just here, so I won't get fired."
Right. He was doing that at the press conference, right? Yeah. I don't know if that was tongue in cheek or if it was just him being his character. Look, you know, we can say the same thing about Gunther as well, right? Like. But sometimes, I mean, what can I tell you, bro? Like, you're not wrong because it's visually right there in front of us. I'm seeing it the same way you're seeing it. All I can think is maybe they're just stripping him down to rebuild him up again. I don't know. Like, I mean, that's
why strip down the hottest heel in the business? There's no need to do that. He's already up here. He's already come from here to there. And people say, well, you're right. He would not be there if it wasn't for his dad. 100%. We all know that. But, oh, well, he's here now. So, and he was over. He's over, man. Like, he was really, really hated. And for him to get knocked down as a top heel to like, he's not even a mid-card guy.
Well, dude, I think this is an indication of what the Judgment Day has become. It's a women's group. I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm sorry. Like the focal point are the 3 girls. You know, the jokes of the crew are JD and Dom. I'm sorry. It's lid focused. and the girls are running it. Like, if you look at the evolution of what Judgment Day's become, it's a girl faction now. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
well,
say it.
funny that you say that, because I was watching an interview with Edge the other day, come across my algorithm on YouTube, and he said Vince came up to him and said, "You're going to remake the Brood. Who do you want? Tell me who you want in your crew," because Vince created Judgment Day. People forget that. All these crews is with Vince created. And so he says, "I want Damian Priest." And Vince goes, "What? Damian Priest? What? Why him?" Okay. And so he recreated the Brood. When Judgment Day first came out, it had the cool song and that Edge. It was really cool. It's watered down now. It's done. It's time to break this thing up. Every crew runs its course. And Four Horsemen did, and NWO did. This Judgment Day is watered down. Get rid of it.
This literally is the one crew in professional wrestling that has 9 lives times 2. Okay, I mean, for the last 3 years, how many times have we sat on this show, other podcasts, other people have been saying it as well, like, enough is enough, it's time to end these guys, it's time to end these guys. But then they seem to come back again, and in a different, stronger way. You know, now you've lost Finn Balor, you've lost basically Damian Priest, Edge, granted, he's gone, okay? But that was the Judgment Day, and Rhea Ripley was more Judgment Day than what we have right now. These are just the scraps. These are all the people that were brought in after the fact. This is like Bullet Club after Finn Balor left, after AJ left. You know what I mean? After Kenny left. Yeah, the Bullet Club is still around in Japan, but they're nothing. You know what I mean? It's just a namesake thing, and they just keep putting new people there. I think ultimately Judgment Day needs to go, and maybe this is the way to get rid of Dom. I don't know. Maybe, you know, him losing like this, Liv is going to turn on him. I don't know, dude. I'm just speculating as much as I can. And then again, last night on Raw, we saw it. Like, I mean, I guess they're doing this tournament for the Mexico and Raw, and maybe that's what him and, you know, Roman were talking about. Ray and Roman were talking about at the end of last
we
week.
all know it's going to be Penta versus Roman in that match. That's for sure.
Whatever the case may be, we'll see how it plays out. But I mean, you see Dom getting involved in that sense, right? I think we're going to get a point here. Honestly, dude, I really feel we're going to get Dom Ray at WrestleMania here. I think this is what we're building up to.
I hope not.
Well, I mean, this is it. This will be it, though. No, but this would be it, though. Like, he would retire after this. It'd be done. Maybe Dom, you know, gets them. I don't know.
We don't need Ray to fight his son and have him retire. You can do it in other ways. My thing is this: you have the hottest heel in the business. You absolutely destroyed him. You put him. He is less than a mid-carder now. He's losing Dan freaking Housen. Are you kidding me? I like Dan. Dan's a good entertainer. Should not be pinning Dominik Mysterio at all. He could have put anybody else. If Dominik didn't need to be in that match with Dan Housen, when he's on a pole match, he could have put any other guy out there.
Okay, well, you know what? I'll look at it from this perspective
they're burying
as well.
The guy, and I don't know. It's bad.
I'll add this perspective as well. At least Dom is doing what they're asking him to do.
Yeah, I give him credit on that. He's getting.
He may not agree with it. It's not the ideal situation, right? But he's doing what he's told. So that's just another aspect.
I just don't know how these guys can sit, the 8 or 10 women and men that sit in this creative room while Triple H is on Zoom. How can you guys sit there and take your hot? If he wasn't over, I'd have no problem with it. But he was so over. Why do that to a guy that's over? It's absolutely idiotic.
Well, maybe that's because they got rid of Road Dogg. Who knows, right? I mean,
I don't
we're
know.
starting to see now some of the stuff that Road Dogg was saying and wanting to do is coming true and making sense, right? You know, we all shit on Road Dogg, blame Road Dogg, blame Road Dogg, blame Road Dogg. Well, shit, we look at the stuff that's happening right now, and this is a great segue and transition into it. Chelsea Green, right? Like, I mean, she wins the title on Sunday. She's the interim champion. Then they realize that Rhea Ripley is not coming back till 2027 because of the surgery and everything that she had done. So she's out of the picture completely. I'm disappointed that they didn't even make a scene or some kind of spectacle to let everybody know that Chelsea is now the official women's champion. They announced her on SmackDown as the women's champion, not interim, blah, blah, blah. But here's some stupid stuff. We talk about Dom and doing stupid things like that with him. Well, your champion just got pinned the first night that first night that she appeared after winning it. Like, I get you want to put over a Fatal Influence. I get that completely. And I have no problem with it. I think this is the next thing in terms of the girls, you know, with Fatal Influence. I get that. But disqualify her, have her win by disqualification, have her win by interference. Fuck it, man. Have Tiffany get pinned. You do not pin your champion.
Well, I wouldn't even have had her
that early.
Yeah, I wouldn't even have put her on that match personally myself, and she got a broken overload out of that match. So why even? I mean, hindsight's 20/20. You never know what kind of injury's going to happen. I get that. I wouldn't even have booked her in that match. There's no need for it. I would have her come out, rip a promo, talk some smack, smacks people around, because you literally put your women's champion out, a week or two later, and have her get pinned. It totally weakens her. And it's like maybe they don't like her backstage. Maybe she's rude to the bookers and they want to humble her.
No, they like her. Everybody likes her, man. It's just a stupid fucking thinking. Honestly, it's not a question of nobody not liking her. Everyone likes her. Everyone loves her work and whatnot. It just dude, this was basically done to set up Tiffany versus JC Jane next week for the US title. That's all this match was, right? But
how does Bruce Pritchard and Michael Hayes, who literally sat with the smartest mind ever in wrestling every day, and they bounce ideas off and say, these ideas suck, they're great. How does Bruce Pritchard and Michael Hayes not understand pinning Chelsea on Raw is a bad idea?
I can't speak I can't speak for Bruce Pritchard, but I can see animosity and disdain and him taking, poking jabs at her because he never wanted her as champion. We saw that on Unreal, right?
No, he doesn't. But at least Bruce understands.
He doesn't see the value in her and everything.
No, I get that.
Right, and both those guys come from a very different place in professional wrestling, where women were still just valets.
Well, I get that. But what I'm saying is, they may not think she's the best champion. Fair enough. But now that she is champion, your job is to make the best product possible to put eyeballs on the screen. By pinning your champion, you're taking a shot at her, the company, and integrity of your company with something so stupid. Well, these guys have to know better than that. Vince would never have allowed that to happen.
No, Vince would never allow that to happen, and Vince isn't there, though, right? So we can't keep saying that. Unfortunately,
I they should know better. They've learned from the best. They should know better.
Yeah. But here's the other thing I want to throw out there. Maybe she's getting punished because she said, I'm dedicating this to Michael Hayes in the SummerSlam pre-pro show, right? Like post-show. Maybe he took offense to that because, I
don't like how Unreal is in the creative room. There's no need to be in there because now we just see all this flubs. They should do Unreal if you want, but they don't. Cameras are not allowed in the creative room. That should be sacred ground. It shouldn't.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like saying that cameras are in an NFL war room or in an NHL. Like, okay, we see these shows like what's that training camp show?
Hard Knocks.
Hard Knocks for NFL, right?
Yeah.
NBA does the same thing now. I don't know what they're called. NHL has the same thing as well now. You never see them in their video rooms.
Yeah, they keep that sacred.
They keep that sacred, and the same thing should be done with wrestling. I completely agree. All right, so we have, Becky Lynch said something really cool last night. Did you catch her promo?
No, what did she say? I didn't watch it.
She's talking to Liv Morgan, okay? And she's saying, like, you're a bubblegum champion. And you've defended the title only once in 100 days. I'm back because I'm tired of seeing you drag this division back to the early 2000s in the way you're defending the title and the way you're acting. I've worked too hard to get this division where it's at. I like that comment.
What did Liv say back?
Liv had nothing to say, man. She's laughed.
So that's my point. I didn't watch that segment. I watched a lot of Raw, but I did not watch that segment. So I don't really enjoy Becky Lynch on the mic, to be honest.
She was good last night.
The writers should have said to Liv, you say this right back. This is why they don't have to recreate. You're only here and you're only staying up here because of your husband. How did you really earn it? By sleeping with the champion? They should have threw that, giving some realism in there. I'm not saying Becky.
They tried that last week and they cut it out. They cut it out on the edited versions.
You tried to say that?
They both were going back and forth. Okay. And she made references to her saying, oh yeah, you've only slept with Dom and stuff like that, calling her cupcake and things like this. And then on the edited version of Raw, if you ever go back and watch some of these Raws after the fact, they edit the shit out of it to cut a lot of stuff out. And again, this is Netflix that has fucking full penetration in some of their shows.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why WWE, even on USA Network, you got the Braun Strowman show, you got other shows, they can say shit and this and that, but they beep it out of wrestling. And Netflix is the one place that shouldn't have it. Like, if you're going to have Sex Life and you're going to have this show and you're going to have a fucking story about Rico, European porn stars and things like that with full penetration and full nudity, What's wrong with your chair shot
Maybe
or a
WWE,
stomp?
maybe WWE is like, hey, maybe WWE goes back and says, "Oh, we didn't like that being said." They went off script. That could be possible too.
Yeah, but still, dude, it's nothing that no one else has been saying on Netflix or any show does. You know
No,
what I
I
mean?
know. I'm not saying. I don't think Netflix even has a problem with that. What I'm saying is, I think the creative guys watch show after, hey, take this out. You weren't supposed to say that liver.
No,
Becky,
no,
or
no, no.
whatever.
Those edited versions come from Netflix. They say we want this cut out, we want that cut out.
Is that for sure? I'm not sure on that.
I'm pretty certain. I'm pretty certain. Yeah, I'm pretty certain because all those edits come from them. Why would Raw do it? Because they don't change anything on the YouTube page. They don't change anything. So if you want to see a segment, go to YouTube afterwards because you'll get the full segment. There was that one with Roman and Seth leading up to SummerSlam where I think Seth hit him with the stomp.
Mm-hmm.
It was completely blacked out. They blacked the screen.
Interesting.
There was 8 minutes. There was 8 minutes left on Raw.
Mm-hmm.
And for that last 8 minutes, it was just a black screen.
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Like,
You gotta go back.
Stuff.
You gotta go back and look at the pre-plays, right?
Yeah.
It's just really interesting that way. Okay, MJ. Okay, dude, I wanna talk to you about AEW.
Yeah.
Okay, last Wednesday, I said this show's starting at 9 Pacific, 12 Eastern. I'm reading it off the page. I'm reading it off the site. I go sit down at my television at 9 o'clock at night and turn it on, and there's fucking nothing there. I find out they played it in regular time. What are they doing?
I don't know where you saw that. I didn't personally see
Dude,
that.
I'll send it to you again.
No, I believe you. I'm just saying I didn't see it myself. I always thought it was regular time too. So I'm not sure what happened there. I can't really say. It was a
I
decent
started
show.
the show last
Probably
week saying,
over.
hey, if you guys want to watch this is what time it's starting.
No, I remember you saying that.
And we had a whole show talking about, well, Mexico has a different lifestyle. Maybe they start things late because I said, well, they're starting this at 11 o'clock at night in Mexico.
I never saw that.
Right. And so it just blew my mind. Like, okay, what are they doing here? Because I mean, they're just like, I'm not going to say I'm wrong because I saw it. I saw it in a couple.
No, I'm not saying you are. I didn't.
No. But I'm like you, bro. If I'm wrong, I'm going to admit it first thing before anyone else. Right. When I've been wrong in wrestling and in the boxing show, what have I always done first before we even start?
Yeah, we say we're wrong. You're wrong. You're not going to get them all right.
I own it up. But this one fucking caught me off guard because, like I said, I'm trying very hard in this world that we live in with all the shit that we have going on outside of this world to find the time to sit down to watch wrestling every day and still be able to do all the things that I need to do and my responsibilities and whatnot. That's like a kick in the face, man.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened with that. I don't know if it's somebody messed up on the graphic or what happened, but it was a decent show. Crowd was hot. The part that surprised me is they brought MJF back early.
Yeah,
he's our biggest star. He should be fighting Ospreay at All In, personally, over Kenny Omega. That's my take because he's your biggest star. But he's back. They didn't make the Casino Gauntlet match. Like, I think MJF is above that. I don't know why. If you're going to bring him back early, give him a marquee match. Or don't bring him back. Let him rest up a little bit more. Let him come back after All In. Let him have a little more vacation. So I don't know why or what the thinking is with Tony Khan on that. Should never take the belt off him because he was your hottest star. And I've been checking the ratings, and when MJF and Jericho are out there, they're getting over 700,000 people. When MJF and Jericho is not featured in a marquee segment, they're back down to 670, 680. So MJF and Jericho in a marquee segment, they give out another 100,000 viewers, which is quite a bit. So Tony Khan needs to look at these numbers and realize MJF's on, people tune in. Jericho's in a big spot, the casuals will tune in for a Jericho. I don't know why what he's thinking on that. So we'll see. But All In's are a big show, man. They're going. Like he said that he's going to make the best build. He's saying for this All In between Omega and Ospreay is going to get a massive pop. They're doing big tickets here. They're going to get about, when it's all said and done, they're on pace to about 60,000 tickets.
No, and you know what?
Big show.
It's a big show, and it's like exactly like you say. The UK is Europe, other places outside of North America are hungry for this stuff.
Okay? Yeah, they don't get it all the time. Yeah,
so they're definitely going to do good ticket sales. If they didn't do good ticket sales, then we know we have a real.
Well, you can get in. You can get. I always check. I like to check. That's why I was asking Hawkeye, what are the ticket prices? That gives you a good idea who's coming in the door. I learned that from Jerry about 20 years ago. So the cheapest tickets for Wembley are $25. So that's why he sells a lot. He's keeping them cheap, which I give him credit. If you want to bring mom, dad, and your kid, you can all get in for $100. He's setting up for deck, but can't beat that value.
No,
right?
No, you can't.
Tony's good that way.
No, he is. All right, so we have it all, mapped out here. We're getting closer and closer to All In at Wembley. Well, I guess just keep tuning in. We got what, 3 weeks to go, 2 weeks to go before the show there.
Yeah, it should be a good
So,
show.
so the next couple AEWs, which should be on at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 Eastern,
Mm-hmm.
right? We should start to see some things build up here. Kenny
I gotta give
Omega,
Andrade credit, man. Andrade is one of their
Andrade looked great.
best.
Andrade
He's gonna get a
won
belt
his
soon
match.
here.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, he's probably the best thing going there.
Ever since him and Charlotte broke up and he went back to AEW, like he's just got that fire in him, and that's what makes you the wrestlers, boxers, UFC guys, musicians. We got that fire that you're pissed off about something and you could see the work. I've been saying it for a few months. He works hard. He runs a little faster. He hits a little harder. His character's better. Like he's getting it.
Well, dude, think about it. I mean, you look at the guy. He didn't get the push he deserved, or he didn't go over the way he thought he could have the first run in WWE. Went to AEW, pretty much the same thing over there. Came back to WWE, same thing over again. Hopefully fourth time's the charm for this guy, right? Let's see what he can do.
Well, they're saying the dirt sheet writers are saying that, and I believe it, that New Day will be in AEW once they're like, I don't know when the time is they're coming for.
They're done. They're ready to go.
So they'll show up anytime now.
Yeah, they're ready to go. Like, I mean, it's just a question of, again, though, what are they going to do there? You know what I mean?
They're going to make some money.
Some new matches. They'll get some new matches and they'll get some new, different looks in terms of that. But also,
you're going to see New Day. They're going to go against Young Bucks. They're going to go against Edge and Cole.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. You're going to get some new matchups that they haven't seen in a long time. But outside of that, what do you do with the New Day once it's all said and done? Once you've seen them against the Young Bucks, once you've seen them against Cope and Christian, once you see them against, some of the Don Callis people or whatnot. Like I said, there's a lot of new matchups here. Absolutely. For the amount of time that they've been in WWE, anything's brand new when it comes to the New Day now, right? So let's just see.
It's a good signing for Tony. It's a good signing for them. They're a little bit older now. A little bit of an upkick. It'll get some more viewers. They'll sell some tickets.
Sure.
They'll split up.
I'm just kind of curious to see how long they can hold the momentum. That's all, right? Based on past guys coming in.
We know one thing about watching WWE and AEW. Not many wrestlers hold the momentum because the guys who are booking this stuff are booking garbage. So every guy that gets hot for some reason, these guys bring them right back down. You got a hot hand, you roll with it until it fizzles out.
Right, dude. We've seen this in wrestling for decades and decades and decades, right?
It's getting really bad now.
It is what it is, brother, man. But you know what? It's our job to report on it, talk about it, and share the wisdoms that we see and the way we see it. And that's what separates us from everyone else, honestly, bro. Like we are fair. We call it the way we call it. And it is what it is, brother, man. But listen, I think this is pretty much it. I think the one thing
I gotta bring up one thing I gotta bring up, and it's, I don't know if you saw it or not, it was buzzing. So just really quickly here, it's a big segment. So Conrad Thompson was doing that show 83 weeks, right?
And Roman's overrated.
He says Roman's the most overrated champion of all time. And then he gave in his context was WrestleMania 31, 32, and 33 or something like that. He was booed, blah blah blah, but Vince believed in him and kept him going. He's never had a great match, and so I get what he's saying, but like I can list 10 champions that are way below Roman. And if you look at people saying the border Roman and stuff, but if you just look at Roman, even his last match he just had with Seth, he told a great story in the ring. His timing, his look is great. Even that match with Old Man Punk was a great match, right? One of the matches of the year. So Roman he's had a great match against Brock Lesnar. So Conrad to say that Roman hasn't had classics, I just gave you 3 classics right there. Then there was a time maybe when he was hated, sure. So was John Cena. At the same time, Vince saw something that none of us could see in him, and it worked. So that was a crazy comment by Conrad. I don't know, overrated champion. We can name lots of guys worse than that.
Roman was pushed down everyone's throat from 2013 to 2017. He was literally shoved down our throat. Okay. Mm-hmm. You were saying it. I was saying it. Like enough's enough with this guy. Why they keep pushing this guy? We all said it, right? It's not working. They brought The Rock out before The Rock and him actually had anything going on later on. And that didn't work. They booed him even then in Philadelphia at the Royal Rumble when he won. Okay. That was the one that they thought that Daniel Bryan should have won or Ray should have won. You know what I mean? But he ended up winning. Rock comes out at the end and tries to kind of get him over. It doesn't work. Okay. The best thing that happened to Roman Reigns was COVID.
Well, and then another thing that Conrad said is he said without Heyman, Heyman made him. Heyman made him, right? He's such a Heyman mark that Heyman makes everybody, right? Here, Heyman helped them for sure, but Roman would have got there on his own. I mean,
No,
Heyman gave
Roman, what we got with Roman.
They proved Brock Lesnar when Brock won the Royal Rumble. I mean, he's one of the greatest ever.
Yeah. Well, dude, I think one thing that Roman had that no one got was the schooling. We talk about Unreal and something shouldn't be done on camera, this and that. One can argue the segment with him and John Cena should have been done backstage and not in front of the whole world. But that being said, that exposed Roman and that made him what he is today.
Well, that's one thing. And the one thing that I always go back to, and Roman said it on a podcast years ago, the night that he wrestled Lesnar, he said to Brock, let's talk about the match. Brock's like, no. McMahon told Brock, we'll talk about it. 5 minutes before the match starts, McMahon told Brock, teach this guy a lesson. As soon as they got in the ring, Brock picked him up, threw him in the corner, started shoulder checking him, broke his ribs, and goes, it's on, boy. That was McMahon's way of testing Roman to see if he didn't say break his ribs, but
yeah.
Happened. That was this is Roman's words, not my words. That was McMahon's way of testing him, see if he's a real man, he can handle a little bit of a stiff jab. He came back there, McMahon gave him a hug and said, you earned my respect. And that's how it was. So Roman has paid his dues.
But dude, honestly, man,
he's one of the best wrestlers in the world. I can't believe Conor would say that. It's crazy.
Because Conrad is basically an AEW podcaster. Okay, I'm not saying he's an AEW guy, but he's style in that way. He is a lot of times.
So who's more over? I'd like to ask Conrad, who's more over? You going to tell me Kenny Omega, your AEW champion, and Roman Reigns? This is the test, the eyeball test.
Yeah.
Walk him through the airport. Not many people recognize Kenny Omega. Not many. I guarantee you, a lot of people recognize Roman Reigns. And
more people, and I take nothing away from Kenny Omega, but if you have Kenny Omega walking through the airport, I think he's an 80s fucking heavy metal band guy or something.
Yeah, you wouldn't think he's a wrestler.
Okay, I think he's like a hair band, or he played with Van Halen or something. He looks like that. Okay, Roman looks like a wrestler.
Yeah, looks like a star.
Roman has an aura. Roman may not be the best wrestler, but what he does in the ring, combined with the psychology, combined with the facials, combined with the way he speaks, makes him the most complete professional wrestler there is. Okay,
nobody in this last 365 days has two good quality matches Roman's had with Punk and Seth.
Well, dude, honestly, it's metrics. Okay, we're looking at the metrics. He checks all the boxes of what you want your best guy to be in the world. Okay, MJF, great wrestler, good in the ring, but he doesn't have that aura.
No, he doesn't.
Okay, he's a distant second, distant third, maybe. But Roman can't be touched right now. No one there in the company has what he has. Nope. He has the aura. He has the psychology. He understands the business.
The look.
He's got it all. Okay,
yeah, he's believable.
Okay, granted, I'll give people this. Yeah, he may not be the best wrestler.
I don't know. People keep saying that, right? But it's like I just said. His last two matches are better than anybody's.
No, I get that, dude. But when you look at it, okay, you can say, okay, this guy's the best wrestler. This guy's the best talker. This guy's got the best physique. This guy's got the best this, right? What I'm saying to you, and I know you agree with me, Roman, you take all those categories, combine them into one.
Yeah, he's got the best. Yeah, for sure.
He's got the best of it all. He may be lacking here, but he's really high up here, which balances it all out, man. He's an A wrestler, 100%.
Oh, he's A plus.
A plus. A plus. Depends on where you want to
go.
One
last thing I just wanted, before I said this last week on the show, and I was hoping I was wrong, and I said it, you guys can hold the tape before we wrap this up. I said, when we see CM Punk and Kevin Owens in the ring, this is what they're going to say. We were skinny fat. We were out of shape. I shouldn't be here. The promo was so predictable, and that's what I didn't like about it. You guys have to, if I can call what you're going to say on a show, you guys aren't thinking out of the box. Let's give some realism here. Let's get on with it. We get it. You're guys, you're out of shape. It's just such a tiresome thing. We always hear that from these guys. They whine and complain. Get over it.
You know what? Let's see how it goes. Like I said, it's only been 1 week.
I know, but we got a 48-year-old man telling you that he's skinny fat and he shouldn't be here, and I paved the way for you. And we got a guy who's 40 years old who looks like a trucker at a truck stop. He's off for a year. He should have gotten a little bit in shape. And they're sitting there complaining how they shouldn't be here, and they expect a regular person who's sitting on the couch. They're going to say, well, we inspire you. But guys, like, you just sit there and whine and complain that life is so hard. We shouldn't be here. We get it. You shouldn't be here. I don't even think you guys should be there at all. But you are. Now let's get something else out of it.
Here's look at the bright side. Baron Corbin beat Trick Williams again, which will now officially allow Trick to step up.
Yep.
So
that's good.
Let's get through this.
I like how Big Cass is back. He's a monster. It's good to have some big guys out there.
Let's get through this. Let's see what they do on Friday. And we'll go from there, brother man. But other than that, I think that's it for us. That's a show.
Yep.
I'm Bobby Sampson. He is Mr. Chance Michaels.
In the words of the great AC/DC, those that download, like, and subscribe to the podcast, we salute you.
We do salute you, everybody. Please be safe. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the rest of the week. Summer is almost over. I think some of our friends down south have their kids going back to school already. We got 2 more weeks here left. So enjoy the summer. Enjoy it all. And before you know it, it's going to be Labor Day, guys.
I know it's going quick.
Samp and Chance are out.
Samp and Chance, are you ready?